Property Tribe's on location at the Southampton Boat Show, and one of the reasons that Nick and myself got into property in the first place was that we had a dream to own our own yacht. So we thought this would be a great place to explore the synergy between the Property Tribe and the Sailing Tribe, and I'm delighted to be joined by one of the show organisers, Mike. And Mike, first of all, obviously we can see a lot of the show going on in the background, but give us an overview of the kind of scale of the event and the history of it.
Well, this is our 48th show here down at Southampton, and it covers car parks, a field, and also we build a marina, and the marina is put in by us every year. Many times we get requests from the public, can I bring my boat up onto the marina? Yeah, you can do, but it isn't here during the rest of the year. It's specially built for the show.
And who's the show for?
Well, the show is for two people really. It's for those who are passionate about sailing or want to learn a little bit more, and of course the trade as well, both national and international, to come off and show the latest designs, innovations, and to sell gear.
Of course, as you said, business is a big part of it, but also I think this is a hugely inspirational place because it helps people stay in touch with their dream.
You're absolutely right, and sailing and boating in general is one of the many pleasures where you really do see life from a different point of view. From the land, you appreciate the buildings and what's going on around you, but on the sea, you get a very different perspective of things. And this is what drives people on, and this is what keeps people passionate. The ever-changing environment. It's quite fascinating. As you go down Southampton water, you're experiencing one sort of weather, 20 minutes later, a different sort of weather. And those challenges and changes just drive people on. And of course, the pure pleasure of it as well. There's nothing like being on the water.
Indeed, I second that completely. I think one of the great things about property investment is that not only could you perhaps afford to eventually buy a boat, but also you would actually have time to use it. So that's so important as well. If you're going to go to the expense of buying a boat, you've got to be able to use it. So property's great in that regard, isn't it?
Well, it is, and it's a great way to go from the land to the sea and migrate gently across. And it's amazing what you say about time is the most precious thing that we have, but least of. And I'm a boater myself, and I don't spend half enough time on the water. I have a busy work schedule, I have 2 kids, I have other things to do as well. And that time on the water is it's precious time, me time, but also family time. And this is a great show to come down here and learn more about where you might go once you've invested in property. What should I do? And it could be as simple as starting off with a little tender, a little inflatable, or perhaps 3 or 4 canoes for the family, and gently moving up through the spectrum, through the system of boats, to get a small trailer sailor perhaps, and then move on to something a little bit larger, and perhaps towards the end of your boating career you end up on a nice large power boat. You know, this is what we'd like the trail for people to follow, and this is entirely possible if you're investing in property and then want to transfer that to something on the water.
I think you've brought up a very good point there, Mike, because to my mind this place, even if you're not ready to buy, it just opens up possibilities that perhaps you hadn't even considered. Just coming here, to me, is a major inspiration.
Well, consider for a moment we have just over 600 exhibitors, and all of those exhibitors, sure, they're here to sell things, but they're also here to advise as well. So if you're not sure about what you're asking, what the questions are, talk to the guys down here and the girls down here, and they can help you develop your ideas further and expand your horizons. And they'll spend time talking to you because it's in their interest to get you on as a customer, to take you on the journey of boating with them.
Indeed. I think there is a lot of kind of synergy between the property tribes, as we call them, and the sailing tribes. And another reason to come to an event such as this is to meet other like-minded people, because they might inspire you. They just explaining what they're doing, how they did it. So it's a networking event as well, isn't it?
Networking is very much part of what's going on here. So there's the business-to-business part, but also you get groups of individuals who might not see each other for parts of the year. They come down, they group together, they exchange stories about what they're doing, usually at the bar, exchange those stories, but also talk about the new bits of kit or some of the challenges they've experienced while they're out sailing. So they're always wanting to push the boundaries and learn a little bit more themselves in order to get the most out of their passion. It's an excellent place for learning like that.
It is. Well, I just have to say thank you so much for agreeing to do the interview with us and for allowing us to be here today. Really fantastic event, so inspiring, and we do hope you've enjoyed a slightly different look at the Southampton Boat Show through the eyes of property investors. Thanks very much, Mike.
Thank you.